What's happening in Sudan is not a tribal dispute. It's not a civil misunderstanding. It's a genocide, engineered, funded, and ignored. And what's worse, it's not just local corruption. There's foreign collusion so deep that even world's powers stay silent. This is a story of gold, greed, and global manipulation, the kind of story no one dares to tell out loud. It began with nature in the 1970s. A devastating drought hit the Sahel and Darfur. Arab nomads, once moving freely with their herds, were forced south into lands farmed by non-Arab African communities. What started as seasonal clashes over land and water soon grew into something darker, a war of ethnicity and survival. The Sudanese army, stretched thin by civil war in the south, decided to outsource violence. They armed Arab militias to crush dissent in Darfur, and in doing so planted the seeds of genocide. Meanwhile, Muammar Gaddafi in Libya had a dream, an Arab belt stretching across the Sahel. He poured money into Arab supremacist movements, empowering militants who saw themselves as racially superior to the black Africans around them. Out of this toxic mix emerged the Janjaweed, devils on horseback. They rode into villages at dawn, chanting racial slurs, burning homes, and slaughtering families. They weren't rebels, they were sponsored death squads, backed by Gaddafi's pan-Arab vision and Saddam's desperate regime. As the violence escalated, Khartoum tried to clear its image. The Janjaweed were rebranded, officially absorbed into state intelligence as the Rapid Support Forces, or RSF. Different name, same faces, same atrocities. This was not about religion. The RSF often massacred fellow Muslims. It was about power, profit, and ethnic domination. They stormed villages, killing men of fighting age instantly. Women were raped publicly as a weapon of humiliation. Children were thrown into burning huts. According to Human Rights Watch, more than 300,000 people were killed between 2003 and 2010. Out of this bloodshed rose Mohammed Hamad Dagalo Hemedti, once a camel trader, now the warlord of Darfur. He rose through the RSF ranks during the genocide and became indispensable to President Omar al-Bashir. Bashir needed a counterweight to the army, so he elevated Hemedti, giving him autonomy, weapons, and immunity. Then in 2017, Hemedti's forces seized the Jabal Amir gold mine, one of Sudan's richest gold deposits. This gold became his lifeline, his empire, his leverage. It made him richer than ministers and more powerful than generals. Once Hemedti had gold, the world came calling. He forged ties with Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, sending RSF fighters to Yemen to support their war against the Houthi rebels. But here's the truth. The payments didn't go to Sudan's government. They went directly into Hemedti's personal accounts. The Arab monarchies saw him as a convenient ally, a man willing to kill their enemies for cash. Over time, billions in investment disguised as aid and development flowed from the UAE, bolstered by its close coordination with the United States and its unspoken ally in the region, the one nation that shares its stance against the Muslim Brotherhood. Between the UAE and the US, there are over $1.4 trillion in declared investments and financial ties. But a portion of this wealth acts as a diplomatic shield, allowing the UAE to move quietly, funding militias like the RSF under the guise of counterterrorism or regional stability. To Washington, Hemedti is a partner against extremism. To Khartoum, he's a butcher in a uniform. And to the UAE, he's a business associate. The RSF's control of Sudan's gold mines became the key to everything. Over 2,500 tons of gold have moved from African mines to the UAE since the 2010s. Sudan alone provides 90% of its official gold exports to the Emirates, and analysts estimate that far more is smuggled through unofficial channels. Why? Because Hemedti and the RSF run the mines. Every gram of gold traded in Dubai's markets could have come from a Sudanese village, burnt to the ground. It's blood money, and yet it glitters on the world stage. Then came 2019. After decades in power, Bashir's regime fell. The RSF stayed neutral and positioned themselves as protectors of the people. A transitional government was formed, a fragile alliance between the army, the RSF, and a civilian government. But the illusion of unity shattered. The generals, Hemedti and Burhan, both wanted control. A coup followed, plunging the nation into chaos once again. Now Sudan's capital is a war zone, a modern battlefield for two men who were once allies in genocide. The UAE keeps the RSF funded. Saudi Arabia looks the other way. The US and its regional partners maintain strategic dialogue, and the world's gold markets, from Dubai to London, continue to profit from Sudan's suffering. This isn't a local tragedy, it's an international business model. The war isn't about Islam, it's about control. It's about who owns the gold, who controls the land, and who can silence the story. The RSF are the modern face of the Janjaweeds, rebranded murderers backed by global powers who prefer profit to peace. What began as a drought has become a global crime scene. Between 2003 and 2010, over 300,000 people have been killed. Entire ethnic groups erased, villages wiped off the map, and as the RSF and the military tear Sudan apart, foreign governments trade gold, oil, and influence in the shadows. When gold shines in Dubai's markets, remember it may have come from Sudanese blood. When global leaders talk of stability, understand that sometimes it's built on mass graves. This is not history, this is happening now, and silence is complicity.